This hour brought to you by GCNLife.com. Live younger, look younger, feel younger at GCNLife.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute, you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Wall Street Raw on this fine Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. And it's been an exciting week in the markets, particularly for the bulls, with the bears running for cover as the prevailing thought, we've talked about this for the last several weeks, is that this is nothing more than a bear market rally, which so far does not appear to be the case, but we'll get more insight in that in just a moment with our good friend Henry Weingarten. I want to remind all of you that I do publish my own newsletter, VRTrader.com. We cover everything from gold to cannabis to crypto currencies, as well as individual stocks and the overall indexes. I'm proud to say that I've been ranked high in the Timer Digest magazine for the last 30 years or so in terms of top market timing. So we talk about where the overall market is going as well, and certainly if you're interested in that type of research, go to vrtrader.com. On this show, Wall Street Raw, we bring on a whole host of interesting guests. Later in the show, we're going to have our good friend Ralph Case rejoin us from Western Wealth Capital, talking about some multifamily apartment opportunities. He's a new sponsor for the show, and last week we couldn't track down Sinclair No, so hopefully we'll have him available today, and along with our good friend Don VIALOUX. So on the line with us now is our very good and old steady friend Henry Weingarten, who's with us.
The multifamily apartments REITs have done extremely well, and even in the down times, we're not hit very much. That's actually been a very, very good sector.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear, because I'm personally invested as well, and I think
it's very well historically, well historically,
and it's a good stable source of income. So again, This is Henry Weingarten from afund.com. Good morning, Henry. Thank you for joining us.
Basically, last time we were saying when Mark was 25,000 down, we said 26,000 before 24, and of course that's the case. So now the question is, are we going to get back to the highs of 26,900? Well, let's say 26,500 plus. In the next short time. And that really depends on what happens primarily on March 1st with Trump. Clearly, if there's any sort of agreement, the market will take that out very quickly, and then we have a decision to make whether we want to sell that rally or whether we just want to use trailing stops. Because, as you know, in May, we have a double red alert, and we think the market's going to be going down somewhat significantly. And as we get closer to May, we'll give you the earthly reasons besides the astrological reasons, but you have to be prepared. So on the other hand, if you're a long-term player, you don't have to worry, because the markets will be higher than they are now in December, but it'll be higher next December than they are now. So it depends on how you want to play it, but there's a significant risk to the marketplace.
So what is that risk, Henry? Do you have a percentage of any kind on that, or is it too early to tell?
Well, in May it could be 3 to 12%.
Okay.
For example, it depends. Let's say the Fed, there are at least 4 reasons besides the astrology, one of which is the Fed may raise rates on May 1st. That would be a shock to the market because they're expecting it in July or maybe June. So a signal like that or the Fed tightening can do it. You have a situation that earnings come out and this is the first time in 3 years that earnings are down. Before it was just a less amount of profit, but now actually they're down.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's going to be some significance to the marketplace. Currently, we believe that it will be probably 1.8% first quarter, somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5. So it's going to be a slightly slower first quarter because of all the problems that they've been there. And there's some others that could go along. The most significant would be, however, if Trump doesn't get a solution on March 1st, gives a 60-day extension, which would be the worst thing in the world, to the Chinese, and then it fails. Just imagine if there's one more extension and they're saying everything's good and then there's no agreement. How much would the market drop on a reflex? Probably close to 10% within 2 days. So
right. They're all nervous about that.
Regardless, there's a lot of risk, but we're not there yet. So effectively, the market still wants to go up and probably will, but we're getting near the highs of before, and there's no real reason yet to go above those highs. So you have to start being income protective, depending on the area you're in. Now, obviously, oil's doing better, but oil's above 59, in my opinion, is overvalued. Gold at 13.25 is still obviously undervalued, but is starting to have some headwinds for the next 3 months. So while we suggested being long into February, we suggested for May and June that in a couple months you want to be defensive about it, and then December gold you want to be positive again. So if you're a long-term player, you don't have to worry about it. You can buy on the dips, but there'll be a lot of headwinds. And the way, for example, that when it went to 13.25, it got slaughtered. When it went to 13.50, it got slaughtered. So it may go up, but it's going to get hit quite a bit. So again, it depends where you're looking in the marketplace. Some places are safer than others. And of course, there's all sorts of emerging market risk. And China has got a risk because even if they agree to everything, the economy's in a mess and it's going to stay a mess all year. So,
is there a defensive place to be during this downturn? Is there a place you would put money other than
a lot of places.
Cash or no?
It depends. Are we talking about as traders or investors?
That's traders. Okay.
Well, as traders, in which case, a very short term, we would.
The bond market?
We're talking before May, right? We're not talking about what's going to happen in May. We're talking about right now.
No. Let's say we have a correction from May. Is there a place that you want to be in cash?
For May, you want to raise your cash levels. Remember,
yes.
There's always the traditional sell in May and go away.
Right.
Traditionally that way. It didn't work last year, as we said. We said don't do it last year, and this year we're saying do it twice.
Okay.
Beginning of May and about May 22nd. So basically, you want to have your maximum cash levels before then. You want to be, what we think is the best thing is long short. Because if you choose a good stock and go short the index or choose a good stock against a bad stock, that's the safest way to be. So you can raise cash. You can, you can write calls. But in terms of trading, it's almost every day. I mean, I don't know if you looked at the Aussie dollar, where it was the other day. It went up and down significantly 5 times in a day.
Wow.
Which is beyond any person can handle. There were like all sorts of things, including some China issues. So the problem is you can't, if I give you a trade, it would have to be over by today or tomorrow. You have to take it because you need a very, very short term. So whatever you're trading, if you normally trade like a week, trade 2 days. If you normally trade 2 days, trade a day. If you normally trade a day, trade 2 hours. Because you've got to take it in quick because there's so much risk. Now, which side? At the moment, I still want to be on the long side, but I have to be very protective. So you can be writing calls and puts and, all sorts of combinations like that. It depends on what market you're trading. The safest thing you like is copper, but even copper, which is way up now, if there's a problem, we have a 350 target for it, so it's a long-term trade. But if there's problems with the Chinese, then that's going to drop, 20 cents, whereas if it works, it goes up 20 cents. So you can play the volatility of it.
All right.
But there's no, just cautious. The main thing is this. Last year, people were worried for the fear of missing out. There's no fear of missing out in the market now. What you want to be is conservative in whatever way that is, and have cash flow.
Okay, we just ran out of time. Henry Weingarten from afund.com. Great insights covering all the major markets, Henry. So look forward to chatting with you next week at this time. Have a great weekend, and thank you again.
Sure.
Don't touch your dial, folks. We're going to be back after the break with Don Vialo, hopefully Sinclair No, and definitely Ralph Case.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
Bacon lovers, we ship free. Try our amazing bacon. No refrigeration required. Proprietary value-added packaging provides 10-year shelf life and protects the leanest, thickest, center-cut, fully cooked bacon in America today. Ready to eat right from the pouch or warm and serve. Savory and delicious. Wholesale price for your everyday use. Order today at ReadyToEatBacon.com. ReadyToEatBacon.com.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself. Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll-free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Many people believe they don't control their own destiny. Let them continue just getting by while you make the choice to do something about your future. Imagine working from home, earning the income you deserve. Just visit startlivingyoung.com and click on the Be Your Own Boss tab. Discover Juness, a state-of-the-art global health company with over $1 billion a year in sales. They'll provide all the tools you need to succeed. Visit startlivingyoung.com today and click on the Be Your Own Boss tab. Your destiny awaits at startlivingyoung.com.
Age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of blindness in people over 55, but with treatment it can be slowed down, stopped, and in some cases reversed. Make sure you see your grandchildren grow. Protect your vision by requesting information about diagnosing and treating AMD. Call the Foundation Fighting Blindness today at 1-800-BLINDNESS for a free packet on reversing or managing AMD, or go to the website fightblindness.org, where I found so much helpful information. Or again, call 1-800-BLINDNESS today.
If you owe money to the IRS, you need to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. It starts with a devastating letter, and if you don't act immediately, you could find yourself having your wages garnished or have a lien placed on your property. But there's a solution. Tax 10,000 can help. Avoid enforced compliance, where these holds on your income and seizure of your home could become a nightmare that just won't end. Call 800-239-9957 now and speak to one of our experts. 800-239-9957 is the number to link you directly to a tax resolution specialist who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, all the forms will be handled for you. All you have to do is make the toll-free call, 800-239-9957. Find out if you qualify and possibly save yourself thousands of dollars, not to mention a lot of headaches. It could be the best call you've made today. That number again, 800-239-9957. This service does not provide tax settlement or legal services. We will refer you to a company that does provide such services. Often the IRS will not agree to any reduction in the amount owed. Not all taxpayers who owe more than $10,000 will qualify for a tax reduction program.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Think positive. Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome back to Wall Wall Street Raw on this Saturday morning, the 23rd of February, and we have a very special guest online with us. I'm glad I was able to catch Ray Merriman. He's traveling literally all over the world, and last couple of weeks we tried to get him on the line, but we just didn't have that luck. But now we do. Ray, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, Mark. Good to be with you again.
Ray's with MMA Market Cycles. He's been doing this for multi-decades, does both technical and astrological work on the markets, and also a very good friend. Ray, I don't even know where to begin. We have the market moving into new highs. The consensus viewpoint was bear market rally, keeps fooling the bears here. How long are they going to be fooled?
Well, first of all, I think that low we had December 26th, I think that was the 4-year cycle low, which means we don't see the high until 5 to 8 months later. And that's even at a minimum, might even go into next year. But right now I'm looking for this market to continue, generally speaking, higher into May through October. However, we are due for a correction. We've been due for a correction, but we call a half primary cycle forming right now. I think it'll be done by the employment report next week, maybe the following Monday. Then I think we get a sharp decline for 3 to 13 days. And I think it's back up again, and the trend continues higher until spring, summer.
Okay, so we have no sell May go away this year, in your opinion? That's just the opposite then from what you're saying. Last year May didn't work.
Well, it's possible. I mean, that's the earliest I would see the high is in May. Sometime between May and October is 5 to 8 months after December, and that's where you tend to get a pretty good high from which you get a substantial return. The question for us is cycles analysts and chart studies is whether it will make a new high or not. What we want to watch for is where one index or even one region of the world starts making new highs, but the others don't confirm it. If that's going on in May, yeah, we could get a pretty good downturn after that. And looking way out, further out, sometime between 2020 and 2023, the studies that I do suggest that the 6.5-year cycle low, which may be a longer-term life cycle low, could take the Dow down 30 to 50%. I am looking for a pretty big decline from whatever this high ends, which is in 2019, possibly into 2020. And then I see a pretty good decline ending by 2023 and probably even by 2022.
Wow. Well, maybe that'll be a statement on the political outcome of the next election. We'll find out by then for sure.
Something to do with that. That is true, because what's happening in 2020 is a convergence of many geocosmic and many long-term market cycles. They all come together in 2020. So that's a fundamental change going on in the world in terms of politics, social consciousness, collective psychology, and banking, the central banking policies. All those things are going through major fundamental changes, similar to what we saw in the 1960s, the mid-60s.
Well, we both had more hair back then, Ray.
That's good, Mark.
You saw a picture of me at that time frame. You wouldn't even recognize me. I think my hair was down on my shoulders.
Ditto.
Yeah, the old college days. Yeah, we're in the 60s all over again. That'd be fun. Maybe. Well, I can't grow the hair anymore, so I'll have to wear a wig in 2023.
Well, you'd be just like the 1780s then.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the gold market.
Well,
I'm sorry.
What I'm going to get into, because the fundamental changes are going on with central banking. It's going to affect currencies, I believe, financial markets. But I think this bodes well for the metals. I think they bottomed last August. That was when our special reports went out that recommended it's a time to buy metals. So I think that's a long-term bottom. And now we're in what we call a phase of the longer-term cycle that can be very explosive if the market can get up above 1520. I think we've got a shot of getting to, $1,500, give or take $50 sometime this year, assuming we don't take out that 1167. I think the trend is up. But the key is if we can get above 1375, to me it's a straight shot to 1500, 1550. If we get above that, to at least 1700. And I see all that happening also going into 2021. But short term, gold is due for a 2 to 5 week decline. It may have started or is about to start. I think it could be done by the middle of March, and if we get somewhere around 1275, 1280, maybe even 1300 holds it. But I'm looking for a 2 to 5 week decline as another buying opportunity coming up before the end of March.
Yeah, the gold tends to rally into February, and then that PDAC conference in Toronto in early March usually is coincident with a peak in the metals, so I think you're really in sync with that for sure.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big event coming up. It looks like, I agree with you, they may have already have topped out, but in theory could stretch into early March. So markets going to be choppy here. No big surprise there. Any other markets stand out to you at this time?
Well, I think the one we want to watch most closely right now is the euro. We had nice divergence on the euro currency a week ago when the futures dropped to a new contract low, or at least a new yearly low, but the cash didn't. The cash is still holding above that 112.13 area. As long as that holds, the euro looks good. And if the euro can get back above 115.15 area, that's going to carry the metals with it. So I think it's going to be choppy for the euro for a week or two as gold and silver pull back. But as long as the euro holds 112.13, the next rally up should, I think, take the euro to 118, even 120. And I think that's what's going to take the gold to the next level, too.
So we got a weaker dollar during this period as well, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, maybe not for the next couple of weeks, but after this is over, I think the dollar does weaken, and the euro currency resumes its move up from what we saw last week.
So how do our listeners get in touch with you, Ray? Let's talk about your MMA Cycles letter in the 30 seconds we have left.
Well, thank you, Mark. They can contact us at MMAcycles.com, and if they drop us a note that says join our, if you want a free copy of the weekly column that we send out every Friday night, we'll put them on the mailing list. They'll get a free copy of our weekly geocosmic climate for the markets for the next week. We'll be glad to oblige them with that request.
Okay, great. So MMAcycles.com, and just drop an email. That's a straightforward way to do it. Ask for the free sample, and he'll be happy to send it to you.
If they want to drop us an email directly, they can go to customer service at MMAcycles.com. So
great.
Customer service at MMAcycles.com, or go to the website, MMAcycles.com, and there's a tab they can click there to get that weekly column we send out every Friday night.
Thank you, Ray, for being with us. Ray Merriman from MMAcycles.com. Have a great weekend, Ray. Thank you again. It's always a pleasure.
You too, Mark. Thank you. Bye.
Don't touch your dial, folks. We'll be after the break with our good friend Don VIALOUX and Sinclair No.
Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
USA Radio News with Wendy King.
Today marks a watershed moment in the 25 years of abuse by this predator known as R. Kelly.
That's Michael Avenatti, the attorney for one of the victims in the indictment. Kelly is facing 10 felony counts for alleged sexual abuse of underage girls. The grand jury indictment names 4 victims. The rap star has consistently denied accusations of sexual abuse. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft denies wrongdoing after he was among 25 men charged in a Florida prostitution sting. Police claim Kraft paid for a sex act in a massage parlor. Jupiter Police Chief Daniel Kerr says there's been a crackdown on sex trafficking in Palm Beach County in recent days.
He's being charged with the same offenses as the others, and that is soliciting another to commit prostitution.
You're listening to USA Radio News.
Step up your style with some of our best savings on quality flooring at Lumber Liquidators. Save 15% on all premium Bellawood hardwood floors from only $3.99 a square foot. Or save 15% on our best bamboo Morningstar Ultra. And let our professional installation team do the work for you. Plus, special financing helps make your tax refund go even further. Visit LumberLiquidators.com for a store near you. Lumber Liquidators. Beautiful floors for less.
With the recession ending, if you've been putting off building your business, now is the time to act. General Steel will meet or beat any price on a pre-engineered steel building of the same size and specifications. Act now, before steel prices go up. So call us today for free information.
Call 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290. 800-965-1290.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much?
$92,000.
Ouch. And the IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Federal Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to wallstreetradio.com.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, the 23rd of February, and my good friend Don VIALOUX is with us from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. Don, thank you for being patient and being with us on this Saturday morning.
Thanks for having me back, Mark.
Well, as you keep saying, that bear market rally continued again this past week, and the only question I have is that seems to be the prevailing sentiment, that it's a bear market rally. Could we be wrong? That's the question.
Well, the key is you have some resistance coming up in the markets pretty soon. For example, the S&P 500 shows resistance at the 2,800 level, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average shows resistance at 26,300. Now, both of these indices have taken some huge moves in the last 2 months. The Dow has been up 19.5%, S&P 500 16.5%. So we're due for a bit of a pause here.
Okay. Would that mean a significant correction or just a little bit of a rest before we move higher?
My thoughts are that the U.S. market is more vulnerable than other markets, most notably emerging markets and Canadian markets. There's some storm warnings about the Mueller inquiry and first quarter earnings reports by U.S. companies. These are going to cause some concerns as we get into March.
So commodity stocks continued to be strong this past week, too.
Amazing. The CRB index moved above 182, completed a beautiful head and shoulders pattern. It was driven partly by higher crude oil prices. Crude moved above the 55.75 per barrel level. Crude oil also completed a beautiful reverse head and shoulders pattern. It's not only oil, it's also the base metals. A nice breakout on DBB on Friday. Well, that's a combination of aluminum, copper, and zinc. And that also has taken a nice move in a period of seasonal strength. All of these commodities move higher right through until May of each year.
Cannabis stocks remain in the news.
Amazing. Kilroy announced the completion of another acquisition on Wednesday, so good news there. Couche-Tard, the largest convenience store in North America with over 15,000 stores, announced an alliance with Canopy Growth for a possible launch of specialty cannabis stores. The first store is expected to be launched in London, Ontario. You might know Couche-Tard as the company that owns Circle K in the United States.
Wow, man, we're going to have cannabis in all the Circle K's down here. That's going to be wild. Okay. Well, they have to legalize it down in the U.S. first, but just that entry is really significant. So meanwhile, let's talk real briefly about precious metals. Continued to move higher last week.
Yeah, another technical breakout on platinum on Friday. Above the ETM symbol is PPLT, moved above $79, extending an intermediate upward trend. Now, the precious metals sector has a history of moving higher until the annual Prospectors and Developers Conference in Toronto. This year, the convention is held between March the 3rd and March the 6th. So that'll be the point where you want to take some money off the table.
Don, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. We really covered some of the high points real quickly here, so look forward to talking to you next week. Don VIALOUX from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. Thank you for joining us. And our good friend Sinclair No will be joining us here in just a moment. Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the great blog EatTheBankers.com. Sinclair, are you with us? I guess not. Okay. Meanwhile, we're going to have our very special guest, Ralph Case, joining us here in just a couple moments on segment 4. And Ralph Case is working with Western Wealth Capital. So Sinclair's with us. Good morning, Sinclair. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Oh, good. Well, we ran into a little bit of a time snag today, so a lot of stuff going on. Let's talk about the Federal Reserve here this past week. Still doesn't appear to have any great inclination to raise rates, though there is some speculation it could come in May.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve changed things in January, promising to be patient about further interest rate hikes. So we've had a 3-year-old process of policy tightening. Now all of a sudden that's on hold, and we're told that we can be patient about more rate hikes. That actually was good news for the markets. What it looked like it might be another week of turmoil in the markets and on Wall Street turned out to be pretty good after all, and we had a very nice week on Wall Street. And it looks like the Federal Reserve is just going to sit back, patiently reconsider what's going on. That also applies to the process of quantitative tightening, I think.
Right. Whether they're going to pull back on those bond assets or not, or loosen up a bit, has been another big factor for the market too. If they, we'll see if that all happens. They really become real accommodative really fast, which is just the opposite of what we saw in November, December. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It's been a rather sharp change, but that's also gone pretty much in line with a slowdown in the economy in the final bits of 2018. It looks like we're probably coming in under, I'm going to say, somewhere in the range of 3% growth because of the downturn in really November, December.
Okay. A little bit on the Eat the Banker side here, Sinclair. We noticed that Deutsche Bank came out with a couple stories here this past week. We only have a couple minutes here. They lost $1.6 billion on a municipal bond bet, and they also reversed a pledge to help distressed homeowners this past week. I guess it's just a function of them having continued problems themselves.
Yeah, a lot of problems. Also, Danske Bank moved out of Estonia this past week. This was I'm not sure exactly what to call them, not exactly a branch, not exactly a subsidiary, with a Deutsche that had been involved in money laundering through their Estonian branch. All of a sudden, this small little branch in Estonia starts doing billions and billions of dollars worth of business. Turns out it all came from Russian oligarchs.
Wow.
And most of it was not quite legal. So now they are kicked out of Estonia.
We can never hold our breath too long with stories coming from our favorite group, the banking sector. No question about that, Sinclair. So
I'll tell you what, though, don't worry about the banks. They're still making plenty of money. $237 billion in profit last year.
Is that all? Is it the same story that Goldman Sachs doesn't have any losing trades on their trade desk as well? That's still the case. Remember that story last year?
That bad.
They don't lose money.
This is a little easier to understand. The tax cuts, about $29 billion of that $237 billion, can be directly attributed to the tax cuts that we saw last year. Bankers made off, well, like bankers.
That's just the whole story. Sinclair, I want to thank you for joining us. I apologize we had a shorter segment today. Too many guests who talked too long, but it's always a pleasure having you. Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the incomparable blog, EatTheBankers.com. Check it out, folks. Sinclair, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
Know someone with a drinking or drug problem? Learn how to get sober after we share these stories.
I was 35 with two beautiful children when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. After my divorce, I went into a depression cycle and started drinking more often and using prescription drugs. After my second DWI and arrest, my ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me.
I was 17 when I became addicted to heroin and meth. I thought I could quit on my own, but I couldn't. It hit me when I was arrested.
Get sober now. Your private insurance may cover costs and we'll get you here. It's simple. Just call Elite Rehab Placement right now. Please, don't wait. Your life matters to us. 800-213-9264. 800-213-9264. 800-213-9264. Call right now before it's too late. 800-213-9264.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good. Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcome back, folks, to Wall Street Raw on this great Saturday morning. And as promised earlier in the show, we have our very special guest, Ralph Case, back with us again. Ralph is the president of the Real Estate Action Group and the Jurock Case Investment Realty Company. He's been a licensed realtor and real estate investor for over 30 years. He's been a speaker at a whole bunch of conferences, the real estate investment conferences in the United States and Canada, and owns a real estate development and syndication company. He's an author in the books Real Estate Action 2.0, and the bestseller Trendsetters. In the last 12 years, he's bought and sold over 3,000 residential units, either individually or with his joint venture partners. And we're here to talk about what he's doing and Western Wealth Capital, which is a project that I'm invested in as well. And I should also say Ralph and his company are new sponsors of this show. Good morning, Ralph. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mark. Thank you for having me.
It's an exciting time, a lot happening out there. A lot of people concerned that interest rates were going to go up and that might affect real estate. Meanwhile, real estate is still doing well. I guess interest rates haven't gone up yet, but from what we understand, these multifamily projects that Western Wealth Capital and you're involved with do well in all environments.
Yeah, we do something that's a little bit novel, and that is that we identify buildings that have some kind of an issue where the owner hasn't been managing it properly so that we can increase the net operating income. So if we buy in a city like Phoenix, which we've bought, multiple buildings in, we'll get a 6% return. And when we get that NOI going up, it's like a 200-to-1 return on $1 of rent that we can increase. So if we can increase the rent by $50 by putting in a washer dryer, that increases the value of the building by $10,000, because you take that $50 a month, you multiply it by 12 months, that's $600 a year, and divide $600 net income by 0.06, you get $10,000. So it's quite a neat thing. I call it the multiplier effect. And so every time we go into a building, we look for ways that we can increase that net operating income. So it could be put in washer dryers. It could be that the owner hasn't been charging market rent, so we just raise the rents. And it could be that we're able to find some efficiencies and reduce expenses. So every dollar that you reduce as an expense switches over to, net operating income. So if you're not spending it on maintenance, well, then it goes into the pocket of the owner and increases the value of the building. So we love the program.
You're diversified, too. Multiple markets. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the most recent deal that we did was in Dallas, Texas. So it was called Hunter's Cove, and we were able to go in there with our program. It was 240 units, and all of them had washer-dryer hookups. And we were able to go in and just put in washer-dryers. So in our budget, we put 181 units that we would add the washer-dryer. So some tenants may not want them, so we just picked a number of 181. And that increased the NOI, net operating income, by $108,000, and that increased the value of the building almost $2 million. It was $1.9 million that increased net operating income added to the building. So that's part of the program of, where we're going to get 25% thereabouts annualized returns. If you look at our past track record, that's been about the average. So you can't promise what's going to be going forward. You can only say this is what we've done. This is our business plan, and, we're pretty confident that we will do it moving forward.
What's so interesting is that investors can count on getting a good part of their investment back in a 3 to 5 year time frame, either through a sale or refinance. Let's talk a little bit about that. That allows them to reinvest their money and move on to other projects. Yeah,
that's kind of a funny story, because I know you sent me an email about a month ago and said, "Hey, Ralph, I got this check. What the heck is it?"
Right.
Well,
I'm in the deal. Yeah.
That's right. You're in the deal. And what we did was we went in and did our program, and we increased the value of the building substantially. But we felt that there was still work to do where we could keep increasing the value. So we go to the lender and we say, "Hey, the value of this building isn't $10 million; it's $12 million." So they'll give us 75% of that extra $2 million that we've increased the value. They'll do a refinance for relatively inexpensive cost. So we take that money and we return the investor's initial capital, or a portion of it, and it makes for happy investors. So we have some projects where we've returned almost all the capital, so the investors are still participating in the cash flow and the appreciation, but all of their money is back for, as far as their risk money. So that's kind of an exciting part of the program for sure.
Yeah, that is definitely an exciting part. So, basically what this is diversification, folks, from only in the stock market or owning gold and silver, or, running your own business too. It's nice to develop a whole backlog of passive income. And over the years, Ralph's been very successful at this. You can build up to such an extent that almost you're retired, Ralph, right?
Well, yeah, I ski a lot. I have a very nice lifestyle. Can't complain. And what I like about this program is that it doesn't matter whether the market goes up or not. You can just sit there in a stable market and you can make money just by managing these buildings properly. And even if the market, say, falls back a little bit, you've got enough of a cushion that the downside is mitigated because you've got a plan. You know how you can increase that income. What happens usually in a down market, say interest rates go up, for example, and all of a sudden, instead of a 6% cap rate, somebody wants a 6.5%. So basically the value of the building goes down because people want a higher return for their invested capital. So with our program, we've increased the net operating income substantially. So, at a 6.5 versus a 6 cap, it doesn't change the plan a huge amount. So investors still make money even if the market is falling.
And if the market is falling, it's a question of what the rents are, too. If it's in a high-demand area, rents could still be stable or higher, depending on the market, right?
That's right. So we look at markets that have, good job growth prospects. So our next deal is going to be in Houston. We just finished one in Dallas. We love Phoenix. We're always looking in Phoenix because there's a lot of job growth in Phoenix. We've done one recently in Atlanta. So it's mostly the city is the most important thing. We want those jobs to be there. We want the stable income. We want the rising rents, low vacancies. We love that. And markets that aren't cyclical, so that they're not bouncing around up and down, up and down. We want slow and steady, and, that's the name of the game.
Well, speaking of hot markets, let's talk about the Phoenix Discovery Tour coming up on March 2nd, Ralph.
Yes. So March 2nd, we're going to have a bus in Phoenix, and if anyone's interested and going to be around Phoenix on March 2nd, just send me an email or phone me, and I will send you the information and sign you up for the tour. But what we're going to do is take investors around and show them past projects that we have done and show them, how we operate, like, fixing up the leasing office, fixing up the signage, fixing up just the physical things like, even the furniture around the pool makes a difference. Some of these buildings, you buy them and, the owners looks like they haven't changed the pool furniture since the 1960s or, the 1980s. So, a few upgrades there just makes it a more pleasant place to live, and people are more willing to pay higher rents. They're willing to move in. We might find a building that has, 10 or 20 vacancies, and just fixing up the physical property fills those vacancies, and also the signage. You get a lot more walk-in traffic. We track everything. I think on another week I'll go through our 54-point checklist, but we track everything in terms of, calls on signs, calls on advertisements, visits to the leasing office, showings of the suites, how many are closed into, actually signing a lease. And we compete against all the different buildings. So each building has a building manager, and every week we have a sit-down and say, hey, George over at this building, he filled up. He's at 99%, whereas Tom over at this one is at, 90%. So, hey, Tom, come on, pick up your game because George is, beating you.
Ralph, how do our listeners reach you? We're just about out of time. What's the best way to reach you?
Phone number, 604-833-9540. And I have been getting quite a few calls. So if you get my voicemail, just leave a message. I'll get back to you ASAP. That's 604-833-9540. And email is case.ralph@gmail.com.
Thank you, Ralph, for joining us. And, folks, thank you again for listening to Wall Street Raw. And we hope to listen to you and listen to Ralph again next week. And please join us at that time. Thank you again.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Alpha, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week Elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
Complement your health with hemp-derived cannabinoid oil. We've always believed that the closer to Earth, the better it is for our bodies. Our hemp-derived cannabinoid oil is phytocannabinoid-rich, full-spectrum, and organically grown. Finally, hemp made easy, clean, and effective. GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203. That's right, we cut through the red tape. It's now available at GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists, get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.